Okay, so, part 2 for this round, I get to surprise Doug, so we are going to do... Wait for it. Wait for it.
Just tell me!
Congo, yes.
The diamonds are here and queer and not going anywhere, and now they're officially not. This is right after they legalized gay marriage, so.
Alright, after we're a few days after.
I know, but I'm still so excited.
There's still a freak out.
No, deservingly so. I know.
Nah.
Okay, I mean, we're not gonna make this a political thing.
It's not a great week for bigots, I gotta say. It's been a 1-2 blow with the Confederate flag and all this. It's just, oh man.
It's wonderful. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm still riding that high. It's like, it really is so fantastic. But okay,
so you know you're gonna be farting rainbows and puking unicorns. As was predicted in the Bible.
Okay.
Watch, we're gonna get spammed with nothing but Bible quotes.
Yeah. So, but it's, I much argue, if they're said by Tim Curry in that accent, I'm okay.
And yea,
and the lion shall lay down with the lamb.
If ye she be violated, then you may buy her for 50 shekels. You must.
We're diamonds! Oh my god. There is some stuff in this movie. You know, when we saw this movie, we kind of knew it was going to be bad. I mean, this is sort of the beginning of
I saw it on the big screen.
Yeah.
Because you
read the book.
I'm a Michael Crichton fan.
I read half the book, and I was liking it, so I was enjoying it. It's, oh well, Michael Crichton's ghost is like, you know, hey, you leave that movie alone.
How dare you. No, I don't. My guess is he didn't like that movie. I'm pretty sure.
It's...
You know, I don't know where to start with this.
So many good actors in this movie, and I will say, like, the good ones are still...
The most amazing being Bruce Campbell. Yeah. For all of, like, a minute. If you want a great time, read his autobiography, If Chins Could Kill, because he talks about Congo, how, like, this is the greatest trip ever. I just went across the country to all these exotic locales. I had a cameo, basically, and, you know... Basically, I'm there and do nothing but sit around, enjoy my time, work maybe a day, boom, I'm done.
It's like, who wouldn't do this? But yeah,
actually, that reminds me, I'll have to tell the other Congo story that he tells later.
But yeah, Bruce Campbell, Ernie Hudson, Tim Curry, Lorna Linney, is that her name?
Yeah.
You know,
the great, I think Ernie Hudson, it should be the legendary Tim Curry and the great Ernie Hudson. Because Ernie Hudson is one of those actors...
And the legitimately incredible Laura Linney.
So
really.
Ernie Hudson's just so... Yeah, and the completely adequate Laura Linney.
She's amazing. Okay.
I know. I'm giving her a hard time. She's not in this movie, but...
she's doing her best, though. I mean...
No, she's doing her best.
It's early Laura Linney.
The movie does her no favors.
Yeah.
But Ernie Hudson just, in anything, is just... God, he's so fucking awesome, and I feel like he doesn't get enough respect. He's like, oh, the fourth Ghostbuster, but he just shows up in things. He showed up in Once Upon a Time for just a bit role, basically, and I'm like, Ernie Hudson? Yes, please.
My wife loved this new show on Netflix with Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda, and it's not bad, it's just not my thing. She tried to get me to watch it. I'm like, I'm just not getting into this. But then I saw Ernie Hudson was in an episode. I'm like, yes! And it's like, anytime he's on, I'm just like, shit, you're awesome! You are so awesome! You know, and it's not just like, oh, you were a Ghostbuster, so I have to think you're great. It's like, no, he is legitimately awesome. And really, if you want proof of that, watch him just save this performance in this movie. He is so charismatic. You know what? So cool.
He has, gravitas.
Yes.
He just has a gravitas to everything that he does. And he is... I mean, it's tough. Objectively speaking, I would say he's the best thing in this movie. Because he's, for the most part, playing it straight, whereas Tim Curry is not. But if I'm going for most hilarious performance, Tim Curry wins. But the two of them are dueling in this movie for who's just giving you the best performance. But... Yeah, where do we start?
Tim Curry's is probably like the most enjoyable in how goofy it is, but Ernie Hudson is kind of like, I would legitimately follow you if you existed in real life. Like, if this situation was happening, you're there with your cigar and you sons of bitches trying to take over the world.
It's amazing!
I'm just like, I'm with you. I'm totally following you.
This guy could have been Blade.
Yeah.
Like, he could have freaking... It would have been a little different than Wesley Snipes' take on it, but I could totally see it because he just sells it.
There's worse thing out than vampires. Like what? Like me.
Like me.
Haha. He's really Clark Gabling it.
Yeah.
But really in the best way. I mean, it's not to a point... Goddamn.
We're not losing the light.
Aziz light! It's not to a point where it's like, you know, you can kind of laugh at it a little bit, but it's legitimately charming and cool.
He is very much the black guy in charge, surrounded by idiots. Like, that's whenever I see him in that movie, it's like, idiots. Yeah, I'm like, you're the guy in charge, you're surrounded by morons, you have to lead these clowns through the middle of the jungle, and I'm like, I would follow this dude. I would totally do it. That's how much I buy this guy's performance. And he's Ernie Hudson, he's amazing, but, you know, most actors can't open a can of sardines. So I find it highly unlikely he could do that in real life, but I believe he could.
Yeah, I think, you know, I read the book too, growing, really on your recommendation. Oh, the Jurassic Park guy? Now
it's a good book. Okay. It's not his greatest, it's very much a page turner though. Yeah.
But it's like an action, I mean, in a sense, kind of like what this movie wanted to be. It's a good action, kind of like, I want to say almost like a B-movie book almost, but like Jurassic Park, it's cool. It's a cool book. And
Crichton was always great at coming up with cool ideas and making it interesting enough that you just wanted to flip the page, like what's going to happen. He constructed his plots very well. Now, his Achilles heel is he couldn't write a likable character to save his fucking life. But like every character in a Crichton book is a D-bag.
In Congo it kind of works. Yeah, it kind of works that they're all
Jurassic...
And that's why it doesn't work here. Like, Laura Linney is supposed to be, I thought you were sending him for this reason. I thought you were... It's like, no, you should be the hard-ass bitch that's going there just, you know...
Oh, in the book, she's a total bitch.
Yeah, and she's awesome in the book.
Yeah, and I liked her in the book because she was just fucking hard.
I saw like a Sarah Connor in the book, like the shades and the hat. It's like, let's go, and they just go out there, you know, tons of fucking monkeys. Yeah. There's even in the book, there's one part like during the hippo attack, like they say, you know, and she screamed. I was just like, the way I'm seeing this character would not scream. Maybe I had even higher expectations for this character. But it's
you ever been on the receiving end of a hippo?
Well, not that end.
I'd scream like Bruce Campbell in Evil Dead 2. I'd be,
No, but even there, like, I think I just had, like, this idea of her, like, you know, like, it was so raised high up that even in the book, I was kind of like, oh, no, she'd do that. And that's the author saying it. No. And so when you see her in the movie,
I think
it's like...
Crichton's point of view is that they're almost always either scientists or businessmen. People who generally don't have a sense of humor. You know, not always relatable, very Vulcan-like. And that always makes his books both interesting because they tend to be hardcore, but they're not really relatable to normal human beings. Every time, and that was the one thing about Jurassic Park that's interesting is how the movie, the one thing Kep and Spielberg did that was the saving grace for the movie, as it was they made the characters more relatable because they're not, Hammond's a fucking asshole in the book.
They're all assholes in the book.
Gets his freaking neck chewed off.
Even the kids are like brats. Yeah. I mean, not like enjoyable kidsy brats. Like
he's
fucking brats.
In the book, in the movie, he's the grandkids. In the book, like
they're fucking apes.
Yeah, they're playing around with the computer, and like he's like those damn kids, whatever, bring them. He's like thinking this. I'm like, wow,
they're all nasty people.
Yeah, so that is his Achilles heel, and this movie, that was one of its problems. Is I think Laura Linney, she's not as hardcore. The guy playing, I forget his name.
Well, she's not written as hardcore, to her
but
credit.
the gorilla handler, I just was not seeing that as his character. I thought he was way too nice. The ending is completely fucking Hollywood schmaltz horse shit compared to the book. As with most Crichton books, it ends on this ambiguous, like, well, life sucks. There we go.
Yeah, there it is.
You know, whereas the movie's like, no, Amy, go into the wild. I release you. Like, it's so bad.
But at least it did get, again.
Amy, go. That stupid thing wasn't in it. And, like, I'm sorry. I know they wanted to give a way for the ape to talk, but between the sign language, the ape effects, which normally, it was Rick Baker, right?
I want to say it was.
I want to say whoever.
I don't know.
I want to say it was Rick Baker, but
or was it Stan Winston?
Oh, Winston. It may have been Winston. It was one of the big.
One of the big greats.
One of the big greats.
And they don't look very good here.
Yeah, and it's like, and I love them so much. This is not to insult them, but everybody has their off day, and this was like an off day because I'm like, for a second, I'm like, nah, it's not Gorilla. I'm like, I could not buy it for a single second, and the idea, I know they wanted the ape to talk because in the book she's signing, and Crichton just simply wrote out the words that she was representing.
Visually you need, something you need audio.
But to do this
voice.
stupid, the voice just kills it. I'm like, it's like giving this gorilla that you're supposed to kind of take seriously the voice of Jake Lloyd from Phantom Menace. It's whoopee yippee. It's so silly. Just silly. Amy, wanna go? It's like, you know what it is? It's like spending an entire movie with a fucking giant gorilla version of Elmo. Okay? I was like, the second I heard the ape talk, I'm like, no. I'm like, please tell me that's setting 1. And they're gonna go through a few settings, and then eventually the ape's gonna talk like Stephen Hawking at least or something. Like, come on. Nope. Whole movie.
I'm so glad I let you pick this movie because this you're saying more about than I probably could. And this is a fun movie to make fun of. But to this movie's credit, they did create Tim Curry and the City of Zen. Or Shen, or whatever I can call it.
The diamonds are here!
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't in the book.
You know what I love?
It was totally pointless, but when you get Tim Curry in the role, it's like,
it's like he's doing one of his cartoon characters.
Yeah, no, he totally is.
Yeah, it's almost like he's just voice acting. Maybe he thought he was going to be replaced by some CGI monkey. And he's like, oh shit, I was on camera the whole time. And it's funny because he does a Russian accent here, but in The Hunt for Red October, he's pretty much just doing his British accent on a Russian subway.
No. We need people to take this movie seriously. Just do the British accent.
Yeah, is anybody doing a Russian accent in that movie? I think they're all just the normal European accents.
Which, to their credit, was a very smart move.
I think Sam Neill's trying to do a slight accent, but anyway, so just one of the great performances, and one of the great throwaway lines we've ever heard. Stop eating my sesame cake!
That guy's a lot of fun, actually. Like, it's a totally pointless scene, but it's like, again, it's okay because you have this character actor who's just gonna go totally nuts and own it, and it's just gonna be like the director for
it's
whatever
funny
reason.
Because the movie,
like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, just do whatever you want. Okay.
For such a scary kind of action-packed book, the best parts of the movie are not the action.
No,
it's just letting these idiot characters interact with each other.
It was kind of cool seeing the laser at the end. That was kind of neat.
That was kind of
because that just cut through. That did what a laser's supposed to do. It's just like zoom, and limb's gone, like in a millisecond.
But this is one of those. Cool. This is one of those things where what works on paper does not always work on film. Because let's think about this now. Ooh, the evil giant gray killer apes. I'm like, this is pretty fucking stupid. I mean, this is B-movie
But
stuff.
Imagining it is kind of like,
but in the book,
like
because Michael Crichton is that fucking good, it works. You're like reading it and you're like, oh, okay. Like, you think for a second, it's kind of dumb, but I want to know what happens.
Well, what I like about Crichton
in the movie, it just doesn't work. You take one look at the costumes and you're like, no.
What I like about Crichton is that you forget you're reading kind of this B movie. Like, you get sucked into kind of like the atmosphere. He's so great at writing this atmosphere.
Well, he's a master
and you forget
repurposer of because most of his ideas are based on older ideas.
It's kind of like Indiana Jones kind of did that too. Like, you almost forget you're watching a B movie because you like the action and these characters and everything so much.
Even Jurassic Park is a rip off his own book, Westworld.
Yeah.
So, which is why everybody was flipping out about Jurassic Park. It's like Westworld. I was like, so was Jurassic Park.
Hello.
But, and Sphere, is very much like Forbidden Planet. But, I mean, this is what he does, and he does it really well. My thing is, like, you can tell the same story again and again if you do it really well. And he does. The movie does not.
Nor does Sphere, the movie.
It's pretty terrible, but it's kind of hilariously terrible. It's really enjoyably it's batshit crazy bad.
It is a lot of fun. If you watch the Siskel and Ebert review of this, they have a big disagreement on whether or not it was meant to be bad. And I think, I want to say they both didn't like it, but they're like, one was closer. Maybe one liked it because they thought it was supposed to be bad. And it's an interesting argument because it's kind of like, yeah, like, I can't tell. I really can't tell if it was intentional because this, what was it, Frank Marshall, I think, directed it. You know, he's done some stuff, and he's mostly a producer, but he's directed some stuff. And it's like, with him, it's like, yeah, he's directed some good stuff, but it's also kind of corny. It's kind of like the Robert Zemeckis thing where you know it's good, but it's kind of, you know, a little schmaltzy and whimsical hammering and stuff. So you kind of don't know whether or not this is meant to be taken seriously or not. But whether or not it is,
I'm not believing the Russian accent. Kick it up a notch.
Like, whether it is or not, it's a lot of fun for how incredibly stupid it is.
I would just wish my only hope is that if I were a director and I heard Tim Curry's accent, even for seconds, I would have been like, okay, this is meant to be bad. Like, otherwise I would have sat there.
This has to be a comedy.
Shit a brick and thought my career is over. Like, because it's just, you can't take it seriously. I don't know how you're supposed to take that seriously. And I love Tim Curry, and that's Tim Curry's kind of like, that's just what makes him so awesome.
He's both so good and so bad.
Yeah, he's like Christopher Walken. He's like so good and so bad and such a he's like Schwarzenegger too, like just a force of nature. You bring him on set, you don't know what the hell you're going to get today.
But to both him and Walken's credit, they can actually act. We've seen them act legitimately in movies.
But that's what makes me wonder.
Oh, they're just so bad.
That's what makes me wonder if it was just meant to be bad. Because if it was meant to be taken seriously, I would have been like, Tim, down! Like, take that accent, you know, take it from 11, turn it down to 1. Like, I would have said something. Unless maybe that was him taking it from 11 to 1. I don't know.
Well, and I heard something, Bruce Campbell sort of saying there's some sort of contract that like the writer had where every line of dialogue, every word had to be exactly the same.
That's true.
Which you would think, like, wasn't that how movies work? Not always.
No.
In fact, it's actually very rare.
Only if you have that stated explicitly in a contract, or if you are a writer-director, like the Coen brothers. It's close. It's very close. I've read the script for Fargo, the original screenplay, and what ended up on screen. It's like there may be a word changed once every 10 pages. Like, it's almost word for word. And the thing is, the Coen brothers are really good. They can do that. Not everybody can. So, and it didn't work. And if you're handing it off to a different director, I just wouldn't do that. Like, I would try, like, if I was that concerned about my screenplay getting ruined, I would try to show up on set and coach them, but I wouldn't be like, do every word exactly, because how you imagine it said in your head could be said completely different under the hands of a different director and actors. And like, you know, maybe it sounded great on paper, but...
Well, so many actors, there's this great documentary on Netflix that talks about, I forget that, I want to say From Page to Screen or something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but it's about writers in Hollywood, and they talk about just how rarely what they wrote makes it to the big screen, like what they thought it was going to look like and be and what they say and where the story goes and everything, and they just change it so much. So I think there is this fear that they're going to take it and do whatever they want with it, and that does happen, and that is a shame. But there's also, if you go the other extreme, where everything has to be, you know, exact, then you're not allowed to, the movie's not allowed to breathe. Write a book. That's what you want to do. If you want it to be exactly that way and no changes and stuff, you write a book.
Or direct the damn thing yourself.
Yeah, but you
But
need
there also is a
for
dark
change.
side to that. We, of course, have people like Lucas or Shyamalan. Like,
or
that
even,
is the dark side of writing, directing.
Or even my uncle, our uncle always talks about how you should never let a playwright direct a movie. I don't know if I'm that diehard, but I know what he's talking about because there is a ton of dialogue in movies that are directed by playwrights.
There's a wordiness to
and, you know, films are still a visual medium. You know, in plays it makes sense. You know, you can do visual stuff, but it mostly has to rely on the words. With film, words are important, but it's still visual as well. And yeah, if you look at a lot of them, you'll see that they are even Exorcist 3, which I love, and I would even kind of argue, kind of a visual movie. There's still way too much talking in that movie, and it's obviously directed by an author.
Oh, you are asking for an invitation to the depths.
No, and I love that movie, but even I'll say
it's not in the file!
There's way too much talking in that movie. But...
How's your faith, Father?
We're on Congo, damn it! But yeah, no, honestly, this is kind of one of the more enjoyable ones to
This
watch.
was a blast.
Yeah, this really was fun to watch.
We were just laughing... Mostly from beginning. I only just got bored with it during the action. Then part of it's because like I didn't believe the the costumes that much. I didn't think the action was filmed extraordinarily well. And the movie was so goofy that it was just a hard time buying it. But whenever it's just the characters interacting, oh my god, this is a funny movie. Yeah, it's like The Room set in the jungle. It's just crazy.
It's really enjoyably silly. And I can't remember, in the book, does she go... She doesn't go because, like, her fiance or husband or something is there, right? She goes just because she was called in, right?
Yeah, oh god.
I've heard Bruce Campbell's I don't remember that being in there, but I could be wrong.
Oh, shit. Well, the book opened the same way as the movie, so that dude gets axed off.
Yeah, but I thought I can't remember if he had a connection to her or not. So it's one of those things where it's like if it is in the book, they don't address it that much. It's very much a side note.
I want to say she was just sent on a mission, but I haven't read the book since 1990.
Yeah, since it came out, pretty much. So we could be wrong. But but again, the way Train writes his characters,
even earlier, 93, it was before the movie came out.
The way Train writes his characters, that wouldn't be a big concern, even if it was. That's just not how he writes them.
Honestly, in every Crane story, somebody's getting a divorce or is having relationship problems.
Yeah.
That's like the other common theme, is everybody's bickering about something.
Yeah, so with this, the whole idea of her saying, like, you said we were coming here because of this reason and stuff, I mean, that is such... I just can't see a professional saying, like, well, you said we were coming here because of this. It's like, you're still doing the same thing. The reason...
They were doing... It's the same approach.
It's like The Fugitive. I don't care! I'm just doing what my job is!
It's the same approach that Spielberg did in Jurassic Park. They were trying to humanize the characters, but it's not... Spielberg somehow got away with it. Well, first off, you have Richard Attenborough, who's amazing. And Spielberg somehow was able to put enough of his own soul into it that it came off as working. I know some people are still pissed about it. Like, no, he was supposed to be an evil character. But in the context of the film, it worked. It just doesn't work here. Because the character was just...
That just wasn't whiny. The writer is so whiny.
Yeah, and it does not
do... such a badass in the book.
Yeah, it does not do Laura Linney any favors. And and it's just like, oh, I have a soul after all. And I'm like, I don't want to see that. I don't care. I was fine with her without a soul. Like, it just didn't... The interactions with the characters were not as such that I felt like she needed to have, like, this awakening. Whereas in Jurassic Park, in the context of that film, it works easier because you got the grandkids, he has to show everybody around. Like, in the context of that movie, it makes sense to soften the character. It makes things flow a little easier.
Theme park.
Yeah, it doesn't flow in Congo.
We're going into the jungle, you gotta be tough.
Yeah, it actually just creates distractions and is annoying, doesn't do the actress any favors, so... I totally agree. And then for me, the biggest thing is the ending with the ape with Amy going off with her frickin' brethren. Not in the book! That's where I really lost it. It's just like, it is
They would rip her head apart. You don't smell like junk!
I'm not saying that. I'm not going to get into animal behavior. I'm just like, the book ended on a dark note. It was a dark book, and I'm like, they just schmaltzed it up for no reason, and it's like, because Amy, I'm like, none of these characters, none of their motivations would have said that this was going to happen. It was more a statement in the book, I remember right, I think the research was going to get cut, and they didn't know exactly what was going to happen to Amy, and his career was in question. It was very similar to Jurassic Park, where they're just like, well, it looks like we're going to be sitting in court in Costa Rica for, a number of years, and I was like, wow, life sucks. But it works in the book, and like in the movie, that was the final nail in the coffin. I'm like, this is shit.
Amy, go, happy.
Really? That was the final nail in the coffin?
No, it wasn't the final. I'm just saying, to me, it was the most insulting moment in a series of insulting moments of like how to adapt the book. And I'm like, no. No.
You went very brave there. No. But yeah.
Tickle me, Amy. Yay.
Was that the first appearance of that ape? It might have been.
That might have been.
Yeah, because we brought him back quite a few times. Or
some of these Ewoks, actually.
Yeah. So that's our real.
I will tell one other story. So
this is the Bruce Campbell one.
Yeah, Bruce Campbell. I think he's done this multiple times, but he.
I think there's a YouTube video of it. Probably.
Yeah, there's a YouTube video of it. So look it up. It just Bruce Campbell talking about Congo. Try typing that and you'll probably get it. But he goes on this whole spiel about, because people ask, he's like, why do you star in shitty films? Like, don't you know it's going to be shitty? Like, what's the matter with you? And he's like, all right, let me tell you. Okay, you're an actor, all right? You're a director, all right? And you're like, okay. And he's like, so, we're going to get Michael Crichton for this project, all right? Big name. Oh, this is going to be great. And you know what? It's going to be an action film. We're going to shoot this sucker in Africa.
Frank Marshall, like Academy Award-winning producer.
Well, I think he was talking to this kid as if he were a director, but, so we're going to get this producing team behind it. He's done all of these great movies. Got a major studio behind it. Hey, look at this. We're going to get Laura Linney. Hey, she's been in some things. She's great. Who else are we going to get? Oh my God, look at this. Tim Curry, a legend. Ernie Hudson, Ghostbusters. The cast list is going to go on. We're going to get some of the best special effects teams in on this. You're going to believe these apes are real. It's going to be action-packed. Here, we're going to throw a boatload of money at this. And, hey, even better, B-movie sensation, Bruce Campbell's going to have a bit part in it. Like, does that sound like a good movie to you? And the kid just was like, actually, yeah. He's like, congratulations, you just made Congo, kid. And he's like, that's how it happens. Like, it looks great on paper, but then every single thing afterwards starts going wrong. So,
yeah. No, I mean, like I always say, I mean, making movies is not easy. I always say they're kind of something of a little miracle every time one comes out good. Because it's so many people and so many thumbprints that have to go into it.
But at least this was a hilarious miracle.
No, and even with actors doing this, it was like some actors, I can't think of any actor that has always done a good movie. It's not possible because it's not just an actor's medium. It's it's a director, it's a producer, it's all these people that come in to try and make this film good, and it's all these people you're relying on. It's impossible to have a flawless record, like every film be perfect.
Statistically, it can't be done.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so it's one of those things where, it's like, well, how did this happen? How did they? It happens to everybody. It happens to every actor, director, writer, everybody. So even when we're like, rah, 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 as a critic, that's why we do the Real Thoughts, because, it's in reality, we know what this is. There's no real hate. Like, I really hate Frank Marshall, even though I never met the man. It's like, no, we've never met these people. We're just talking about the film as it is, and we know a lot of hard work goes into so many of these films. And, it's one of those things where you're not going to have a flawless record, but at the very least, you can have a film that is entertainingly bad, and this film is definitely that. So I still kind of recommend it.
Oh, I do too. If you want a great B-movie, like, just hilariously, like, just piss your pants funny.
Yeah, well, I think 90s B-movie. This is like the first one that jumps to my head.
It would definitely, I think it's actually in Mike Nelson's movie Make a Cheese book. So, it's definitely worth a view.
Yeah, so definitely. With that said,
Tickle Amy.
Fuck you.